So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rob. Hope you're having a great day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you would please go ahead and type the number 1. So let me know that you can. I appreciate it. Thank you, Amy. Roman, Scott, how you guys doing? Leslie. John, good afternoon. Thank you for a great class in New York. It was, wasn't it, John? I am just excited. The conversations I had at the end of the event, folks, with students that went through this full day with me, my team, were outstanding. They were phenomenal. I'm talking about people that have been trading for a long time, others that are brand new or getting back to it, have walked away for a while and are now coming back again. I'm talking about, we had some people there that were friends and family that came in, and there was one person there that her significant other is trying to get her involved in the market for a while, and she has no interest, and boom, she came to this event, and man, she is on fire. 4 hours they spent over the weekend, 4 hours looking at charts. So I am stoked, to say the least, about what we saw in that. Scott said, I'm doing well. Thank you for the great class. How are you doing? I'm good, Scott. Just took, I'm not used to this full day of training again for that intensity and everything that's going on. So it took me a good full day to recover. We did some stuff yesterday, but Saturday I was kind of dead. I was done. Excuse me, for sure. So, but wonderful, 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 wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. Hey, Patricia. Jim, good afternoon. Daniel, how are you, sir? Kevin, how are you? Hey, Patty. We missed you, that's for sure. Ah, good. Roman said, now I see it. Google and NVIDIA at the zero line. Yeah, there you go, Roman. You got it. That's it. Patty said, missed you all too. Yeah, it was too bad, Patty, but hey, you got to do what you got to do. That's okay. Afternoon, Robert. It might be good morning for you still. It is. Good morning, Rob. Sounds like you had a great class. This is Helen. We did. Helen, we had a phenomenal class Friday. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I was overly overwhelmed with the gratitude from so many students going ahead and giving testimonials and getting on camera with us. And it was fantastic. Sean's gone through a bunch of them and just outstanding. We will be making some of the event photos available. We've got to figure out the exact where yet. It's going to take us a little while to get it done, but we will get them done and make them available. All right. So keep in mind that nothing we discussed today, everything we discussed today is for educational purposes only. Nothing we discuss is for advice and or recommendations. I'm going to try to brighten my face up a little bit. No, not like that. Like that. There we go. Let's try to turn that puppy in a little bit. All right. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. Kind of blinding for me, but Sean gets angry with me if I don't have this light on. It makes it easier to see. So I figured I better put it on before I get in trouble. All right, let me just move some stuff around and let's jump in. So guys, we got Patterns in a Flash coming up September 22nd, the 24th and 5th, which is this Friday and Saturday. We've got 4 hours each day with Inner Circle. And then Trading You comes back on the 27th. Mastering the Trade, if you're in the Power Option Place training, Mastering the Trade is part of it for you. You'll be automatically registered. You have to do nothing. You get an email that goes, oh, you got a class on the 29th at 8 o'clock. And then Monster Market Movers on the 30th. Mastermind this Tuesday. I'm teaching the training this Tuesday. Now we've got Power Hour today. We're not doing YouTube. For those of you that are scrambling to get in here, you weren't looking at YouTube and now you're here on Zoom. We're not doing YouTube. Our office is turned upside down. Sean did a great job of putting things back together, but all of our electrical equipment for recording, our electronics rather for recording, was all taken out so we could bring it to the event. We did a 4-camera shoot. Plus on top of that, we had 2 individuals running around taking pictures, either video and or pictures. So we, on top of the testimonials in another room. So we had a lot of video and photo ops going on there. So coaches, Trading Coaches Playbook, that will be back on YouTube on Friday. We just couldn't get it all done Sean and Anthony got back to the office and finished up at about 10 o'clock. They finally got out of the office on Friday night, just so I could go there Saturday and get ready to teach with the Inner Circle and some of the mastermind groups coming in there. So power option plays, cover call explorer on schedule for this week. Brandon is on vacation for E-mini, so that will be a credit. We'll just extend your, it's already been done. We'll just extend your subscription out, so you're good to go there. All right, let's see. Yeah, Trader Will said, great day on Friday. It was. We had a, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and for everybody, it was fantastic. Here's our follow us page. Make sure you are, please, and thank you. Please do if you're not. Thank you if you are. What did I do today? 5 videos? I think it's 5 videos I did today. It might be 4, but I think I did 5. And we're not done for the day. All right. That's the level of what we're doing, folks. We're committing to 7 to 10 YouTube videos a week and putting out 3 to 5 other videos a day on our other social media platforms. And some of those short ones that I do that go on Instagram and such are also going on YouTube Shorts. So, which is a new platform that YouTube is introducing, kind of like, I forget the name of the one that's on Instagram. Anyway, kind of like what Instagram has done with their videos, right? So make sure you're checking out some of the various things we do to keep up with all of these trading ideas that we've come up with. Oh, let's not look at that yet. So how have you done today? How have you done? Go ahead and drop your trading info in there. Let me see. I have no hammer here today. Sorry, folks. I'll bang on the desk, but I don't have a hammer. All right. So Patty said 114% gain this morning. Nice, Patty. Who were you trading? Sarah said, getting my butt kicked with ES and NQ today. They can't all be winners. No, but Sarah, you killed it last week from what I remember in class. So absolutely. You know, you're going to have days like that. There you go. Patty said Amazon 4 contracts with puts. Suzanne said still in the SPY, which if you're doing puts on it, you should be doing well, especially as you had that reversal back up on the SPX to the fib line and it rolled over. It gave you a great opportunity there today. Let's see. Okay. Not as many people as normal with some trades. Let's see. John said naked puts, SFIX and APA covered calls and UVXY and SRPT. Nice. Suzanne said, yep, that was my SPY put entry. Excellent. Trader Will said Micron MU up $350. Great job, Will. Great job. Excellent. I love it. I absolutely love it. Folks, listen, there's so many opportunities. I don't care what the market's doing. Is this market scaring some people? Without a doubt. I cannot tell you the number of calls, emails, text messages that I receive from friends, family, other traders, freaking out over this garbage with China and what do we do? And oh my God, and the world's coming to an end. And, you know, we'll talk about China in just a little bit, but that's not necessarily the case. Robert said, I sold the 10 options, $9 strike of SRPT 2 weeks ago when it expired. They merged with GRE and ended up owning 110 shares for $81.81. The merger, I guess, messed it up $145 on JP Morgan. Yeah, if it was 110, it was 110 shares and it was not an equal contract. So if you know there are mergers coming up, one of the things you should do is call. I always tend to call TradeStation and I get the broker on the phone. It doesn't matter if you're not placing a trade. If it's a trading related question, it will help you without having to go through the, give us 6.5 weeks and we'll get someone to help you with something, with a question you have. And ask them if it is a regular options merger. In other words, there could be, it could be company A is merging. So let's say JP Morgan was merging with, I'll make it crazy, right? Wrigley's Gum, right? No reason for those two to merge, but they were. And Wrigley's Gum had just merged with somebody a month before. You may wind up with the other company shares, Wrigley Gum shares, plus the shares of JP Morgan. And, there could be weird numbers inside of there. So if you ever see these wacky strike prices, $142.17, right? You want to ask that question and make sure there's not something unique inside of those options, right? I've had that happen on more than one occasion to me. Scott said, I caught a pivot to pivot SPY on the way up and down. Nice. Getting it both ways, Scott. Erica said the market has not been the same since since the president took over. Yep, that is correct, Eric. It is not. Robert said, damn, China is infecting or affecting the world again. You know, it's a valid point, Robert. And if you remember the last hit we took, I was very adamant that we were going to take a hit. I couldn't give you the exact when, but I did say it was going to be in that third quarter of the year to the second quarter of the following year. And we fell right in there. And I said it necessarily wasn't going to be the US that caused it. It could be someone else. And sure enough, it was China that caused some of that to happen. And now we're back at it again. And there's, again, that fear of multiple things. It's not just what's happened. It's also some of the COVID stuff and others, which we'll go over a little bit of that in a moment here. Daniel said, unfortunately, my internet crashed again at 9:30. Oh, but I did a paper trade with the information from my phone, wrote it down, capitalized on my SPY trade for 80 cents. All right. Well, at least you know, lemons into lemonade, right, Robert? That's exactly what it's all about. Lemons into lemonade. Now, many of you know Amelia, you know who she is, you know what she does. Amelia is a very valued part of Wealth Builders. Right? Her and I have known each other for a couple of decades now. We've been friends for a very long time. And she is our head trader here, right? She has her own tool that she produces every day, every trading day, which is called Trade Watch Alerts. And she documents every trade that she puts on, only puts on. She doesn't document. If she doesn't take a trade, she doesn't document it. She only documents it to the point of, yes, we didn't take that trade. So we know how many trades she called, how many trades she took, how many went against her, how many went in her direction, what the profit and or loss was per trade, per month, and so forth. And pretty soon you're actually going to be able to see on the homepage or the members page where these banners are, you're going to see banners that are going to start scrolling in there. We'll kind of rotate them in and out, but it's going to be, how did we do in power option plays last month? How did we do in Trade Watch Alerts last month? How did we do in E-mini Think Tank last month? How did we do with Wealth with Spreads last month? And so forth. They're going to kind of rotate out. You won't see all of them at once. It's probably be one a week or something will go up in there with a regular rotation of banners. But you'll be able to see what the monthly results of those trades are. And those that are in POP, I already do that. Those that are in, actually, we all do it already. We do it to the members. They see them. This way, you'll all be able to see how well we did or did not do in there. Okay. So here's one of the two trades that Amelia submitted today that she placed. And you'll notice she wrote fast debit spread magic. Debit spread magic is the name of the trade setup that she's got there. So if you look at the bottom, this was the trades were taken on Tosh. She put it in as two contracts. She got filled at two separate entries about 8 seconds apart. Bottom one was at 9:31.25. The next screen went up is at 9:31.33. One plus one minus one on each. It's on Facebook. There is a $2.50 difference between the strikes that she bought and sold. And she wound up with an 80-cent debit on this $2.50 trade. So her risk in the trade is 80 cents overall. And that was at 9:31 this morning. She got out of this trade at 9:32 from her last entry, which was 31 minutes and 33 seconds. From there, she got out at 32 minutes and 18 seconds. Not even a minute later, she's out of this trade and she got a credit of $1.20. Well, I gave them 80 cents. They gave me back $1.20. Overall, she crushed it. She did on two contracts. And here's the great thing. With this debit spread, you don't need a lot of money, do you? I mean, you just don't. She needed 80 cents, $80 to do one contract, 160 to do two. Now, did she make a killing? Well, I don't know. You tell me. Dollars and cents wise, what did she make? $40 a contract, so she made $80. Did she crush it? Is she calling in sick for the day? Is she going on a new vacation because of it? No. But we're talking about a 50% rate of return in a minute. I'd say that's pretty damn good. I don't know about you. Go ahead and annualize that sucker out. Actually, don't. You'd run out of space. You'd get the E, you know, or go into scientific math. Go ahead and put that puppy in and figure out the rate of return for the day. Right? Brenda, I didn't see anything. Wow, Brenda's crushing it on the Qs today. That is awesome. Yeah, so the math, Will, is she had 80 cents in the trade and took $1.20 out of it. Yeah, Brenda crushes it exactly. Every single week she crushes it with her Qs. But again, Brenda trades huge number of contracts, right? Tremendous contracts. Yeah, exactly, Daniel. I'll take the 50%. And that's just it. Scott said, do 10 contracts. That's $400. It's not about the dollar amount. It's the rate of return. 22% is 22%. 13% is 13%. 180% is 180%. If you need $100 to do that trade and you made $50 to get 50%, then you don't have, you look and say, I don't have enough profit in there. Well, then put another $100 in. Now you made more. Put in $500 and you made more than that, right? You can work your way up on the contracts, but get the system down. See, here's the one thing I don't want any of you to ever forget. For some of you, you look at the numbers and go, it's not for me. We talk about covered calls as an example. I look for 2 to 3% a week on my covered calls, a month on covered calls, 2 to 3% a month. I do weekly options on. If you're able to get 3%, right, on your covered call a month, that's 36% a year. You double your account in 2 years. That means you could take a $2 million account to one. Let's do that again. You could take a $2,000 account to $1 million in 18 years. Now you're 84 years old. You go, all right, Rob, that's awesome, but a little rough. I get it. But how about the 16-year-old Joe who was in my event this week on last Friday? He's looking at that and going, oh my God, I got more than $2,000 already put away that I can put into the market. If I can make 3% a month on my money and do it passively, just kind of walk away, set it and forget it, let it do its thing, I'll do awesome if I do that, right? Because for him in 18 years, he's 16, what's that make him? 18, 28, 34. He's 34, 35 years old at that point to take $2,000 to $1 million. And some of you are going, wait a second, I got a lot more than 2,000 already. See? Okay, a lot of comments came in here. Let's see. Yeah, it's not. Well, she put in she gave them, the debit was up front. She bought an option, basically. She's long. And then to get back out, when she sold it, they gave her a credit of $1.20. I'd love to see a debit spread video for how she does that spread. Right now, Amelia's redoing a lot of what's in that members area. She's working on it as we speak. So that will be a huge part of what we're looking for with that, Robert, is to get videos on them. All right, so trade. It's all about the rate of return and the percentage your account will, the percent of your account you put at risk. Exactly, Jim. All right. Here's the next one. She did 3 contracts on PayPal. She put out $1.10 limit order and $1.65 was the credit coming back. This one was 9:59, 10:36. So about 35, 37 minutes, something like that on this one. Guys, bottom line is whatever you're doing, whatever the trade is, whatever the size of your account is, whatever your risk profile is on that trade, you've got the opportunity to trade regardless of where you're at, meaning you can use a very small amount of money to get going. You don't need tens of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yep, exactly, Will. Got it. And you might be right, Will. Robert K said, I got 18% for 2 days last week on a covered call, 50% out of the money call. Nice. Nice. Very good, Robert. Very good. Very good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the effects of China on the U.S. markets. Okay. What's happening there? Well, there's a company called Evergrande, I think is how you pronounce it. It's a Chinese country. It's a Chinese company that is looking at defaulting on $300 billion with a B. $300 billion is the potential default there that they're going through, right? They're likening them to, and it's housing. They're likening them to Lehman Brothers. That's the effect they're thinking of it having on the overall market. There's a lot of concern beyond just China, guys. The Fed talking about easing stimulus at their next meeting. If they do, potentially raise interest rates, stop giving away free money, stop making people with money pay more money. I heard I'm making so I drink in the morning every day. I drink celery juice. That jar full of celery juice. My wife and I, every morning I make for the two of us celery juice. I'm making my juice. I've got CNBC on over my shoulder in our great room. And they're bringing this guy on who's the Democratic nominee for the New York City mayor. Doesn't affect me, the mayor, because we're not governed by them. I live on the island, so it's a bit different. But it is interesting to watch and see what they're doing. And he starts talking about taxes. And they're talking about how we're going to adjust taxes or figure out taxes to pay for everything. I'm like, here we go. It's back to another tax the rich, right? We're doing it federally. Let's do it locally. And the first thought in my head is Texas, Florida, you're getting more residents from New York moving out because they're not going to stay here. They can't afford to at what they pay. He came on and blew me away. He said there were 8 million people in the New York City area. That's in all the boroughs of New York City, 8 million people. Of those 8 million people, 65,000 people of 8 million pay over 50% of the income tax of taxes in New York City. 65,000 people. How much more can you raise those people? I was blown away. You can't. I get it. They should pay more. If you're in that train, that's fine. You do you. That's okay. But you're going to have states like Texas and Florida and places like that become very wealthy states because they are not taxing them there. You're not paying that personal income tax there. I mean, listen, I'm incorporated in multiple states. 3 of them that I have entities in are Florida. There's no state tax. Wyoming, there's no state tax. Nevada, there's no state tax. I'm no dummy. Why would I pay all the extra money into a state if I don't have to? Nevada, expensive place to be incorporated. There's definitely a cost there comparative to other states. But when you look at what's going on with debt, we've got our own debt ceiling coming up that becomes an issue right now. We've got COVID. There's new restrictions they're talking about again, right? The president coming out and let's just rephrase that. The way that I say it is Biden. I don't say it as the president. Biden coming out and saying, if you're not vaccinated, you're bad. You're bad. You're the one that's messing this country up. You're bad, right? There's so much of that going on out there. So many things like this. China was just another plate on that. You know, you got that spinning thing of plates there, right? You're trying to balance it on that dowel. That's all it is, right? Guys, on top of that, here, I wanted to get the exact numbers. I went into my, I've got a book that gives you some of these details, but I went back and looked at it's Trader's Almanac. We have it on our website under trading resources. You can download. It's not ours. We just link you to Amazon to get it. Back to 1928, September has a loss on average of 0.99%. It is the worst month of the entire year. The second worst month is May, and May is 0.11. So May is 11% or 0.11%, less than, all of it is less than 1. And in September, it's 0.99, almost 1 full percent. So 0.1% versus almost 1%. All right. So all of these things add up into play of what's going on in the markets. Can China affect us? Yes, but China has the ability as well to pull back on the brakes. Some of the restrictions China is putting on companies of how they're regulated and what they're required to do, how they run their businesses, where they deposit their money, how much they're allowed to make. I mean, heck, look at some of the restrictions China's putting not only on business. Kids can only play video games certain days of the week and for an hour a day. And they want to monitor this. They want to be, and I'm not talking about, go play Monopoly on a board game. I'm talking about video games, right? One of the things, I mean, they're on a tear lately. One of the things came out was if you are a boy band and you don't look, I don't remember the exact word that they used, but if the boy band wasn't masculine enough, they weren't allowed to perform. It's crazy. They're throwing a lot of stuff out there right now. So there's a lot of turmoil going on in that country, right? And I've been saying for a while, don't trust that the Babas, the Alibaba and the Baidus went down and popped back up. I've been saying for a while, we are not there. Don't believe that China is not going to reel some more back in, and they have again and again and again. So how does this affect our markets overall? Well, if we look, that gap down, that drop, that run, boy, that was it. Guys, look at it. I talked about this in the training over the on Friday. I went into this yesterday in power option plays and talked about the 55 moving average. We've been down to it before and we came back up. We've been down before, it came back up again and again and again. And as of Friday, we were just above the moving average, above the 55. So somebody tell me what is different about this time as we're approaching the 55 than the last times we approached the 55. What do you see different? Oh, Brenda, the health benefit about celery juice is it doesn't matter what you're doing. I don't care what ails you, it will help. I have a friend of mine that was awake 8 to 9 times a night. He would wake up from his sleep to go to the bathroom. He's 74 years old now, 73 years old. And he doesn't wake up at all. He sleeps 9 hours a night. He's been doing it for about 3 years now. I've got him on it. Yeah, the debt ceiling is a big deal, Jim. Jim said, I live in Arlington, Texas. I see a lot of liberal state tags in this area, California, Michigan, not many New York tags. Right, it makes me glad to be an American. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know, Will. All right, so here we go. Paul said it didn't break. More bearish candles, more bearish days. How do you make it? Brenda, literally, I take a celery, I wash it, and I put it through a juicer. That's it. Do not mix anything in it. Look up Medical Medium. Go search them out on Instagram. More and larger bearish candles. Pullback looks different, more rounded. Okay. Amos said, actually had EMA cross with multiple down days, a rollover versus the last few times. No, don't puree it in a blender. Juice it. You don't want the fiber, you just want the juice. Yeah, not about the gap down. Exactly, Pat. No, Patty, not about the gap down. Up to this point, before today, what was different? Health is a big part of wealth. I'm getting ready to do a video on what it takes to become a millionaire, things you need to do. And it's not per se just trading related, but in your life, what you need to do. Jim said the difference, I think you're seeing that the 8 or 21 held resistance unlike the other pullbacks. So right here, actually, let me do this. Let's get rid of the mouse, the crosshair there. So here we kind of had a nice little V and we came back. We had a V down, and this brown line is the 55. We had a V, we had a V, we had a V, another V, and then no V. We were kind of hanging around in this area here, which is definitely a little bit concerning. Flat, it was flat. Yep. Hesitation between the 0 and the 236. There you go, Daniel. So, and 236 means hesitation, no less, right? So when we look at what the market has done, right? It's recovered off of that 55. And I said it verbatim yesterday, is I'm not too concerned yet. If we get below the 55 on a closing basis, that's where my concern is going to come, is there. And China comes out and goes, guess what? Hello, we're going to wipe out massive gains in the US market today. And that's exactly what happened. And this happened from right out of the gate last night. We saw the drop, the little climbs, but big continuations down, right? To the point that we have now gapped. We have this huge gap. Let's see. Let me take some of it down for now. All right. So if you look at where we're at, from this fib move that we're making right now, right? This V bottom into this V top. We've been back to that 236 one time only. And all of these candles together are a cluster. They're not, one day doesn't make one time. It's what's happened in that grouping. We did push further down to the 382. It was a one-day thing. It was kind of a push, boom, right back up, right? And then we had a nice recovery from there. We are now at that 618 and 0.5. Does that mean we're going back up? Well, I ain't doing nothing bullish right now. That's for darn sure. Could we recover right from this? We could, but with 600 points on the Dow, the S&P at over 80 points, the NASDAQ was over 300 points earlier. We're going to deal with some stuff. Now, you may notice a green line drawn on my chart. Down to that 4,100 level. That is a 10% correction. So if I draw off of, here, let's do this. Perfect. Okay. Kind of. All right. So the one I just drew is the one further out to the right. I'm going to move this one back here just to get it out of our way. I want to see us drop to 4,100. That gives us a 10% correction and gives us the ability to start the climb back up effectively. Do I want to see it happen in 3 days? The answer is no, I don't. I want to see us work down to that level. The sharp move down, sharp move back up, there's not enough fear. There's not enough capitulation. There's not enough people freaking out, throwing their hands up and go, oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm down another, 10 grand on my account. I'm down $800 more on my account today. What am I going to do? I'm down, 12% on my account overall for the year, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I want to see that move down for that 10%. Would I like to see 20%? I would, but I don't think we're going to hit bear market from this. The economy is too strong right now, but we need the 10%, in my opinion. Traders were looking at buying every dip. Heck, even Kramer came out this morning and said, don't buy on these dips, actually sell and come back and buy later. Was Kramer said, I don't think we're done with the pain yet. And I agree, but I will be looking for opportunities to enter back in again because for me, SPY, QQQ are my long-term positions. I said this in a video I did this morning, I own a fair amount of those in my retirement account and other accounts, not just retirement. Now, do I own what Warren Buffett owns? No, not at all. But I own my fair share. For me, it's a decent size of our portfolio, right? And we write covered calls on them and so forth. We've got protection methods in place so they don't get taken away. These big hits, well, this type of a hit, my protection doesn't really protect against all of it, but we get that 10 and 20%. Yeah, I'm fairly well insulated. I'll take a hit. It'll cost me, on this 50% pullback, on this 400 point move to the downside, 10%, that might cost me a few $100, a few $1,000s. I mean, we're not talking about a lot of money just because of the way that I built protection there. And I teach that in Mastermind and Inner Circle, right? So again, all of this time spent on China, that's what caused what happened to today. But our markets were already setting it up. Right? Was it China's fault for the last 8 days that we went sideways? No, it wasn't. Did they have something to do with it? Maybe a little bit, but it wasn't their fault that it happened. Right? That's the difference. It wasn't their fault that we set up with all of those horizontal days. I would love to see the move back down to 4,100. That's me. Some of you are like, I won't say who said it in the comments, you're nuts. That's okay. Is the black line a fib number? C. I don't even have to check it. Who asked the question? Trader Will. It's 4181, Will. 4181, which is a major fib level. Yeah, Amos said we are looking for a catalyst. Right. I want something to change it, Amos. I want to see the continuation down, and I want to see China come up and ease on something, or the Fed to come out and go, whoa, okay, we're not going to take away the stimulus just yet. We're going to continue to do this, whatever this may be, right? That would be comforting, but at that 4,100 level. That's right, like, or at least at that 4,100 level. I'd like to be able to say we got a 10% pullback, because we have just skyrocketed here. Right, here's COVID. Right in here, that's COVID, and we just took off. I mean, we're talking about massive gains from where we were before COVID. So we definitely want to see that kind of pullback take place in there. Glass is bouncing all over the place. Jim said, when would you start to turn bearish? A retest of the 4,100 and a fail? It's not that I'm not bearish, Jim. Right now, if we look, we are bearish as far as bias goes, but we're not a true bear. So I'm not ready to jump on board for the bear train. Because remember, bearish markets last a couple of months, bullish market lasts a couple of years. So even if we fall down on that 20%, normally, not the hit that we took in 2008 when we came crashing down. It took years to come back again to where it was, but it had started to recover within about a year and a half or so. We started to see the recovery. So the 8 is through the 21. Now the 8's got to make it through the 55. The 21's got to make it down there. Give me the correct moving average order, and I will look to take bearish directional trades. I'm just not there yet. Right now, just as I said, my opinion hasn't changed today. I am looking at day trades. I mean, I did Netflix today. Guys, look at Netflix. Watch. Did anybody trade Netflix today? I didn't see it come in. Okay. So look at Netflix today. Actually, let's do this. Let's get that puppy off the screen. Let's get today off the screen. Oh, look at that. It's moving, baby. It's moving. You're welcome, Jim. Jim said, thanks. I forgot about the moving average in the correct position. That makes more sense. So this is where we closed up yesterday. Now, Roman, Scott, Will, I don't know if Bill is here today. I don't think so. And Daniel, right? These are people that were in the office with me on Saturday when we did the private meeting for those that were in those higher level groups with me. We sat for a couple hours and just BS'd a little bit and talked about markets and so forth. We talked about this type of setup with an Amazon, right? Roman, you brought the question up, that point up. Well, look at the trade setup on Netflix right now. We are sitting with a confluence of our 8 moving average and our fib line, right? Do we have a clear and concise entry when we turned bearish today? We do. To where? The next fib line, which has a confluence of the 21 moving average. Awesome. We move down. We make a small gap down. We retest both the fib line and the moving average line. Both. I would have been happy with just the moving average, but we tested both today. Look at that. Long wick, first candle. Second candle came back up. Right, so we closed right near that line. We pushed back down, closed down here. We retested here and here. So folks, you had plenty of opportunity to take a bearish entry off of either the 945 or the 950 candle. Plenty of opportunity. But here on this 940 candle, we actually stretched up. The white line is the fib line. The purple, magenta, pink, whatever the heck the color, the correct color name is our 8 moving average here. Okay. We hit that and we failed off of it. So now you're talking about an entry off of that 587, and we're sitting at 574 right now ish. 574, 5, somewhere in there. Okay. When you look, what did I do? So the 590 puts, right here, I did go slightly out of the money on it. The 590 puts were 11 and a quarter. Right now they're trading at 18 and a quarter. So 18 and a quarter. Forget about the negotiating. 18 and a quarter. $7 move. I would say overall, not too bad. Not too shabby. Plenty of opportunities like this if you know what to look for. Guys, I take my tracking sheet and I go straight down that tracking sheet. I don't work off the printed copy I use. I like this because I can write notes on them. If I did work off the printed one, I would print it out and write notes on it. I like having it. I like paper, right? I like reading books. Audible is awesome for being busy, but I like having the physical book in my hand and being able to read it, right? So many people at the event this week had the manual online. They didn't have it printed. I print that puppy out and make sure that I have paper in hand. It's the way that I learn best. But I go down my list. What was neutral, what was bearish, and then I look at everything as the market opens up. You know, this screen right here, with the exception of this one on the upper right corner, which I normally use for pre-market stuff, except with the exception of that, this a template with just 4 charts, and then I just make this bigger here. This template with those 4 charts, I have 5 of these open on my screen. On my system, I've got 6 monitors. I've got 5 of them open, right? I have an option chain open, and then my laptop, which sits over here, would have my Omega charts on it. Okay, I also have Omega charts running on this same system in case there's a problem. I can get on it very quickly, but it's just not a forefront. So I can put up 5 charts, 5 stocks that I could look at one time and have an understanding of what's going on, right? With the move that we've had now, where are we at? 1245-ish almost. The move that we made to the downside today, now we're in lunchtime. Look what's going on. We're going sideways, right? No sign yet of recovery. Right up through lunchtime, we had nothing that said, ooh, we should recover from here today. Nothing gave us recovery signals at all. Pushes up 2 different times to the 21 and failed. I like it. I'm in, right? And with where we're at now, I would not be surprised to see continuation into at least the latter part of the afternoon, which would be after that 1:30, 2 o'clock, right? Does it recover at the end of the day? Just some profit taking, people getting out of their shorts, and very possibly. But right now, nothing giving me signals. So it's not that I won't be bearish. I'm just not going to be a very directional bearish trader just yet until we get some shifts, Jim, in what the market looks like. All right, cool. So I'm talking up a storm. I feel like I'm back at Friday all over again. Should let you guys talk. Maybe you should teach me for a little bit. Give me some symbols. What do you want to look at? Talk to me. Tarjay, you got it, Jim. Come on, drop them in. All right, let's pull that puppy out. All right, so, you know, Target held well on that 243-ish level, right? This is today. Let me get a cross out. This is today, right here. So I'm not overly concerned with it, though, with that break. But we are in a better bearish territory here, Jim, because the 8 is below the 55. And after today, there's a good chance that that 21 moves down if we stay where we are now and puts us in true bear territory, right? So I'm looking at that 237 as our next target. No pun intended. And let's see, 28 to 37 is 9. So I need an 882 in here, because that would be my next target. We use black because we're not doing it for 4-step. All right. So we're looking at 237 and 233 are the two downside targets there. So I hope that helps, Jim. Brenda, how did I know you were going to type in QQQ? There we go. Okay, let's pull this out a little bit. You got it, Jim. Jim said very helpful on target. Thank you. The trade with Rob trade is over. The zero line breakout trade ended. We violated now. Here you go, folks. Those of you that were in training this week, don't write it down. Don't type it in because I don't want to lose all the symbols that are in front of me. But do you see the inverted zero line breakout setting up now? What a great time for it. What a great opportunity for it. All right. Let's see. On Qs, we're looking at 54 to 65. That's 11. Oh, we need a fib in here. So I need a 118. So Brenda, 360 and 354 are the downside targets. Hope that helps. Paul's asking for FTech. Oh, all right. So not one that I normally look at. How is volume? So volume is a little light, 155,000. That's why. Okay. Let's go back here. We've had a nice run. It's kind of a sideways-ish. Okay. 18 to 22 is 4. We need fibbits in there. I need both the 118 and the 136. Negative 136. All right, so 120 and 118, Paul, we're looking at the downside on FTech. All right, and then Juniper. Yeah, it's ETFO. All right, Juniper, I have not looked at these guys in forever. All right, this is how forever before since I've looked at Juniper. What are we looking at here? 01. And after that, they did a split. They did a 2-for-1 split and never recovered again. We're talking about, stock was at $125. And if we unsplit it, right, this stock was up here at 375 or so, 385, right here. And then that was in 99. And then here in 02, we can't get back above 30 or $50 or so. Terrible. All right. Let's see. Let's go to a daily chart. There's nothing I can really do much with fibs on this. There's not enough movement. But for me, as I see this, I see these bottoms in here, somewhere in this area, right about 26.5 is where the support would be. 26.5 to 26.25. Somewhere in that range, Paul, is where I would be looking at support there. Hope that helps. Sherry's asking for Moss, which is Mosaic, right? Yeah, Mosaic. Let's see. All right, $31 stock. Let's do this. Let's spend a moment and draw the fibs. All right, let me get a drawing tool. The best way to learn how to do this is to draw it. So I got a little bit of a V bottom there. Let's try this. A bit of V bottom, we go sideways. You go up, there's not really a V top. It's kind of ugly. Right, but that gives me a new V bottom. So that would negate this one, right? We get this big move up within a couple of days. We really just move sideways in there. We get this continuation and we get this V top in there. From here, we just get chop and slop. I mean, we're all over the place. Up and down, up and down, up and down, ugly, 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 ugly. You've got that as a bottom, but then once again, it's chop and slop all over the place. So if we look at about this $16, I know I can't draw a horizontal line with my mouse. We look at about $16 to $28. All right, so let's get at the pencil. V bottom, sideways, V top, right down to the 236 as our catalyst. All right, so we got 26 to 29, about $3. We need Fibbits on both sides. So give me a negative 136 and a 118. All right, now let's go back to template number 2. We're in ugly town. 31 is our downside target. We're at 31.67 now. If we break that 31, we're looking at 29.5. So you don't have a lot of room on Mosaic, Sherry. So I hope that helps. Barry said previous dips on SPY were exactly 1 month apart. Good point, Barry. I did not look at that. Wow. A little different here, I guess, but overall, good consistency in there. We did break it. Well, we did break the negative 618. But we didn't close above it. And even if we did, we don't really have a whole lot to draw off of here. I guess we could have drawn from here. But we didn't break on the close. You're welcome, Sherry. Oh, you're still headed home, Will? Okay. You're in DC right now? Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Someone put Apple in. Daniel did. I remember seeing it. I just didn't remember who had typed it in. Okay. Well, I mean, we broke everything, Daniel. Right? We broke that 143.66. 140 is our next target. 137 down from there. We're in a bearish bias. We're not in true bear, but bearish enough that we could take a trade. What does that mean? The moving averages need to be in the correct order for me to take a trade. The correct order for a bullish trade would be exactly what we're looking at here. I have, where's my mouse? Too light for me. No, all right, let's do this with a. Here's my 8, which is above my 21, which is above my 55. That's the correct bullish order. They need to be the opposite here. So the 8 needs to be the furthest one down, the 21 from there, and then the 55 up here. So 8, 21, 5.5. That's what we're looking at as our moving averages. That's what they need to look like for me to say we're in a true bear, which again, at this point, we're not. Ed, I see you had a note there under, one under the questions box. How did you do today with futures? So I'm not real excited, obviously, about it, but Daniel, but if we can get a close here and a retest of the 143 half level tomorrow and a fail down to 140, yeah, white on rice, baby, all over it, like white on rice. Right? I like it a lot. Jim said, Apple, you're drawing with the mouse, the lines and the numbers was good. Okay, good. I'm glad that was helpful, Jim. Just trying to really make it stand out as to the why. You know, one of the people at the event this week, his name was Joe, 16 years old, and his experience or introduction to the market has all been what he sees on YouTube. And he told his dad, who told me that, you know, what I see on YouTube, this is so much different. I say, yeah, we actually give you what works. We're giving you processes. It's not just some guy that's, 22 years old, has never seen a bearish day in his life, has absolutely no idea what to do to handle the market, got lucky, threw some money into GameStop, made himself 30 grand, and now he considers himself a guru. You know, we've been doing this for a very long time, back from 1997 when I first learned how to trade and started teaching in 1999. Others exactly how to do it. So, God, 97. 24. Wow. Okay. So I'm coming up on a quarter century next year. Holy mackerel. Right. But the system works. It's there, guys. Right. You can fight the rules. And there are some in here that will tell you just how devastating that can be if you fight the rules, or you could follow the rules. It may mean you miss out on some trades, but you've got a better chance of A, making your trades winning trades, and B, even more importantly, staying for a very long time. Most trading companies, their average student is there between 6 months and a year, maybe a year and a half, and they're done. That's it. Most of our students have been around for much longer than that. And I've had them with me where they have literally followed me from other companies and come here with me. Right. So, but for many of them, it's 10 plus years have been students of mine. Yeah, where does time go exactly, Jim? Yep. Trader Will said, Roman, follow the rules. And he's saying it in a way of Roman saying, follow the rules. Roman will tell you guys all the time, if you're ever around listening to what he's got to say. Every time I don't is when I get my head handed to me. So, guys, at the event this week that we did, we decided that we're going to go ahead and offer the recording of that live event up for sale. It isn't ready today, but it is a full day of that training. It'll be lifetime digital access to it. So you'll see that. Hopefully I'll have some info for you on it next week, but you will see that over the next couple of days. You'll start to see some emails coming out on it. And those of you that attended, yes, you can use your credit from the event for that as well. So it'll be good. It'll be a good resource to have, especially what we go into on the zero line breakout, the inverted zero line breakout. The exercises that we did on the fibs were fantastic. So the redraws, all of that. So let me catch the last notes here. Yeah, Scott said, even if you think I have a better idea, follow the rules. Yeah, so Robert said he's with me for 16 years now for me this November. Right? 16 years, folks. I'm telling you, there are just some amazing students here. You are fortunate at an event like this with some of the people that are here and some of the resources that we've got available. So let's see. Yeah, we didn't get hurt at all for the hurricane, Jim. Jeff said 13 years. Jeff's out in Arizona. So, all right, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, I think at that point we're done. You have yourself a great rest of your day, right? Make it a profitable one. Stay focused on the quest to becoming a great trader. Keep crushing it. And remember, you're just one trade away. I will see all of you at our next event. Take care, folks. See you then. Bye for now.